Previously on Oops All Bards. Clarice, Belle, Andric, and Kelonian, the four bards with Acting Secretary Gideon Stormcaller at the Shalimere train station, come across a classmate, Cretaceous Thunderthigh, who is to accompany them on their journey to Tabartsava, the seat of Shalimere's standing army. Suspicious of everyone and everything, some of the bards decide to surveil the train station for strange activity, while Belle and Kelonian create a semi-intentional diversion by performing for the crowd and end up gaining quite a bit of coin in the process. The remaining bards notice some potentially noteworthy activity on the part of a few train porters, and also notice a very large, strange crate awaiting transport, but they are unable to discover more. The train pulls into the station, and the bards find their seats, discovering themselves to be the only first-class passengers aboard. The bards' journey begins uneventfully enough, but after some time, the train lurches to a stop, injuring Secretary Stormcaller and a few members of the party. Mercifully, but somewhat mysteriously, Kelonian Stump's pet chicken, Angel, escapes unharmed. A porter enters the first-class car and tries to get Secretary Stormcaller to come with him, saying he believes the secretary to be in danger and immediately arousing some of the bards' suspicions. Andric volunteers to investigate the front cars of the train and to accompany the porter to ask the engineer what happened, as Belle and Kelonian set out in the opposite direction on the train to see what they can dig up about the rest of the mysteriously absentee porters. But as the duo make their way through the first-class dining car, they find that not all is as it seems.
You wanted monsters all slain by their betters, but you ain't seen nothing like arts and letters. Look who has answered the cry of distress. Oops, it's all bards. Oh, what a mess. You think we're a joke, but in truth we're all id. We fight like we learned it in books, 'cause we did. We all survived college with charisma impressive. Oops, it's all bards, and yes, it's excessive. If you're still confused, we'll explain to you thus. There's nobody left, so that's why they called us. We'll fight or we'll otherwise roll for successes. Oops, it's all bards. We hope that addresses all that you have to know to enjoy listening to our all-bard party sent off on a mission. How'll it go?
Well, we're sure you can guess.
Oops, it's all bards. Oh, what a mess.
Endric Harrowhold, Urade Hall.
Belsonomial, Flatley Hall.
Kelonian Stumps, Salubert College.
Clarice Sauercloud, Talmadge Hall.
Cretaceous Thunderthigh, Sluvere College.
Welcome back to Oops All Bards, the actual play podcast that does what it says on the box. I'm your host and game master, Jillian Ashley Blair Ivy, but if you call me anything other than Jill, I'm going to assume you want to talk to me about getting an extended warranty on my car. With me are our bards. Bards, please introduce yourselves.
Hi, I'm Tateson Hadass, and I play Cretaceous Thunderthigh.
Hi, I'm Ann Coleman, and I play Clarice Sauercloud.
Hello, Ashley Banks playing Belsonomial.
Hi, I'm Ross Curry, and I play Endric Harrowhold.
This is Bob Kellyan. I play Kelonian Stumps.
And we're also joined by our producer, Nate Runkle, who I'm going to start making introduce himself one of these days. So I know we ended the last episode on a bit of a cliffhanger, but let's just take a moment to reorient ourselves a little before we get started. In our last episode, Clarice, Andric, Belle, and Kelonian accompanied Gideon to the Shalimere train station so that you can take a train to Tabartsava, where the standing army is located. And then at the station, you also met up with your classmate, Cretaceous Thunderthigh. Many of you know Cretaceous from school, but he's not actually been a part of your all-bard party so far. And you were all very surprised to see him, not just because he escaped the chaos at commencement, but also because he, like Clarice, calls Gideon Uncle Gideon. When that happened, Clarice had a big reaction, but Gideon explained that he's close to both Clarice's and Cretaceous families, which is perhaps a little weird because Clarice and Cretaceous know each other at school, but neither of them knew that their families were both close to Gideon. Once you got that little bit of awkwardness out of the way, you went to the platform to wait for your train, which had not pulled into the station yet. And Belle and Keylonian wound up creating a kind of diversionary dance-off, with Belle actually being the only one doing any dancing. And at the same time, Andric, Clarice, and Cretaceo, you decided to scope out your surroundings and see if anything seemed particularly sus. Most notably, you saw a porter who was accepting something in an envelope from a mysterious man, and you also noticed a large, somewhat ominously labeled crate that was being prepped to load into the freight area on the train. But you didn't get any detailed intel about either of these things that you noticed. Belle and Keylonian, while they were making their diversionary dance-off that wasn't actually a dance-off thing, managed to also make quite a bit of money while they were busking, and then the train came into the station and you all boarded in the first-class car, where you happen to be the only passengers, which Gideon tells you is actually not unusual, so nothing to be concerned about there, I guess. Once you're on the train, everything was more or less normal at first. Several of you were just trying to get some rest. Belle and Clarice went to find a snack, but no sooner had you moved on to the next car, Belle and Clarice, but the train lurched to a sudden stop, knocking many of the bards over or slamming you into the seats in front of you, doing some bludgeoning damage. You might remember that this is where I made the executive decision to save Angel from taking any damage, because it turned out she only had 1 hit point, which I guess I, as your DM, probably should have known in advance. But after deciding that I was not going to kill Angel, Belle and Clarice headed back to the first-class car to rejoin their party, and then a porter came running in from the other direction on the car and was saying that Gideon was in danger and that the secretary should come with him immediately, which raised several eyebrows amongst all of you. So ultimately, as a party, you decided that Andric would go with the porter to check in with the engineer and maybe do some investigating in the train cars in between where you are and the front of the train. In the meanwhile, Clarice and Cretaceo were going to stay with Gideon to make sure he's safe. And then Belle and Keylonian were going to go in the other direction on the train to talk to passengers, make sure everybody's okay, and also try and figure out why there didn't seem to be any other porters on the train that you had noticed so far until this guy came running into your car. So, Andric, on your way to the engine, you took stock of the porter break room in the coal car, and you found a tattered porter uniform stashed in a coal barrel. And then you also tried to get some more information out of the porter, who tells you his name is Higgins. Meanwhile, Belle and Keylonian, when you started to make your way through the first-class dining car, you got the distinct impression that you weren't alone. And just as you tried to move on to the next car, you discovered why. And that is where we're going to pick up today.
The table that you're standing immediately next to rattles a little bit, and you jump out of the way just in time for the table to turn on its side and reveal that it has teeth. And I need the two of you, plus the table, to roll initiative.
Woohoo!
You can also call for help if you feel like you need to.
I feel like Belle wouldn't call for help, because if we're dealing with this, there's a non-zero chance that they have more to worry about. Keylonian can do what he wants, but I rolled a 7 for initiative.
Okay.
12.
Keylonian, with your 12 in initiative, you're up first.
Keylonian is going to say, "Oh my, I think the tables have turned." And then he thinks for a moment that he might want to use his withdraw into shell action, but then his courage wins out, and he is not going to retreat into his shell, and instead, Keylonian's just going to run up next to Belle and is going to give Belle resistance.
Okay.
So that is a D4. You can add that to a saving throw. Yeah, any saving throw.
Thanks!
Great. Well, it's probably a good thing you did that, because it's the table's turn, and the table is going to try to bite you.
Rude?
Does a 13 hit?
What is my AC? No, it does not.
It does not hit. Then you are fine. It's your turn.
Okay. Belle is going to say, "Wow, that was so rude. I never put gum underneath tables. There is no reason for you to be acting like this." And I'm going to I think I'm just gonna pull out my chakram.
Okay.
One in each hand. Chakrams, plural.
Okay.
And I'm gonna take a slice at them.
Roll to hit.
That's a 24 to hit.
That certainly hits.
Alright, that's gonna be 7 damage.
Okay.
And then I'm going to use two-handed fighting because they're both light finesse weapons.
Yes.
So that's going to be a 26 to hit.
That definitely hits.
And then it's just 1d6 without the +4 for damage. So that's going to be 3 damage.
Okay. Keylonian, back to you.
Keylonian is going to try to put this mimic to sleep.
Okay.
Doing a quick scan to make sure that this will actually work.
Yeah. And Belle is standing right next to it also.
Oh.
Yeah, please don't put me to sleep.
I also forgot it was an area. Yeah.
Belle, seeing Keylonian sort of hesitate, is going to ask him, is it worth it just, like, running and closing the door behind us?
It works for me.
You're going to provoke opportunity attacks. And Belle, you would anyway because you're right in its range. So in order to disengage... Well, actually, no, you're not part rogue, so you can't disengage as a free action. So
No, I can't. It's also not my turn.
Right.
But I have my new feature that could help.
Okay.
Do you mean run to the next car or run back?
I was thinking the next car, but, like,
Let's
I
do
think
it.
whichever way Keylonian runs is the way Belle will follow.
Well, we were of the same mind. So I'm going to... I think... Can't I do disengage? Right? Your movement does not
Yeah,
provoke
instead of
opportunity
dashing.
attacks.
You're-
I'm going to do disengage.
All right, that's fine. Then you just can't dash.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. I can make it to the door.
Okay. It's the mimic's turn again. And he rolled a nat 1 to hit Belle.
Amazing.
So nothing is happening there.
I love that.
He
for
didn't,
me.
like, bite his own tongue.
He just, like, bit in the air and is very confused by how he didn't hit this small girl who's not that far from him.
Divine intervention, I guess. So, yeah, Belle's also gonna just disengage and,
When Belle disengages, does glitter appear or
Or
something?
is it a dance move?
Belle just moonwalks away.
Yes.
Peace.
Okay.
Yeah, she's gonna take out some glitter, throw it into the non-existent face of the table,
Okay.
and then just sort of, like, moonwalk away while doing, like,
Just
sparkly hands. Like, ooh.
The glitter is just
performative. I'm gonna let you do that, but the glitter doesn't have an effect. Like if disengage.
Oh, no,
is an
no,
action,
it's just
okay.
part of her, that's just part of her disengage.
Okay.
Like, ha!
Yeah.
Ooh.
And then Moon walks away.
Yep.
Beautiful. All right, let's go back to the first class car and see how Cretaceo and Clarice and Gideon are doing.
Before that,
Yes.
can I ask, Keylonian has message, right?
I do have message.
So Belle, once they get to safety, Belle will ask Keylonian to tell Clarice what happened.
Keylonian puts his fingers on his temples and concentrates very hard and thinks at Clarice. Oh, what was I supposed to say?
That there's a mimic in that.
There's a mimic in the dining car, and maybe they shouldn't go in there.
Right! Clarice, there's a mimic in the dining car. You maybe shouldn't go in there. Make sure that our person that we're bodyguarding is safe.
The range on message will allow you to do that?
Yeah, it also allows...
So it's
It doesn't say how long the message can be.
Yeah.
It says the person can reply.
It is blocked by 1 inch of metal. I don't know what the train
So-
is made of. Or...
If the train is made of metal, I would say that like each individual wall is not a full inch, but we're going through 1, 2, 3 walls.
Are there windows in the doors between the sections, though? Because
There are windows.
on Amtrak and SEPTA.
Yeah. So there are windows in the doors between each section.
You could get through and just be kind of
Yeah,
muffled.
could I just poke through the door and...
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll do it.
Okay. I poke through the door and send a message.
So we're not going towards the dining core. There's a mimic. Something's definitely up. Cretaceous, can you grab my backpack from up there?
Yeah, sure.
And Clarice is gonna pull out a folded black piece of fabric, and she's gonna look at Gideon and say, "You remember this?"
Should I?
Yeah, it's my parents from the revolution. And then I start to shake it out larger until he can see that it forms a portable hole.
Whoa.
So for our audience, would you like to go over what a portable hole is?
I'd be happy to. So a portable hole is...
It just gets funnier every time you say it.
Yep. It's a soft, fine piece of black fabric that can be folded up to the dimensions of a handkerchief, but can expand to be 6 feet in diameter, a circle. With one action, you can unfold it, and the portable hole creates an extra dimensional 10-foot pit, essentially, that you can then close up with whatever you want in it, and it works like an extra dimensional bag of holding, but completely one way. And the person within can climb out whenever it's open.
Okay.
And this is something that I stole from my parents.
Oxygen in this pit?
About 10 minutes worth.
Yeah, so they can be in it for 10 minutes, after which time they would start to suffocate, yeah. This is a pretty unique thing, and I definitely shouldn't have it. But I also haven't done much with it, so I'm really hoping that Gideon, upon seeing it extended, knows a little bit more about this level of magic.
Do your parents know that you have that?
No, but isn't that a good thing right about now?
Why would that be a good thing?
Because...
Just get in the hole.
Not yet. Just if somebody tries to enter the car and they're here to kidnap you, which, like, obviously they're going to want to do because they're taking all the hostages from the current administration, you should get in the hole, and then I'll put you in my pocket, and then I'll let you out when they're gone.
Your friend... I don't think so. I think that I should be here ready to fight.
Oh, I appreciate that you will always want to fight, Uncle Gideon, but there are 2 of us who understand how much easier that fight will be if there's no one for them to take hostage.
Clarice, I love you. You're not exactly a fighter.
Right, but they're not going to need to fight me if you're not here. We're going to, break open the window. We're going to, send some rope out and make it look like we sent you running. And you're going to be in my pocket. Tell me that's not brilliant.
Persuasion check.
I mean, it's a good plan. I'd rather not do a whole lot of fighting, but...
I rolled a 15 and my modifier is 8, so that was a 23.
He sighs and climbs into the portable hole.
Okay, just sit, on the edge there. And, Cretaceous, can you knock out that window? I'll give you some rope to run.
Oh, because I'm just a big, dumb brute. It's my job to just break... Whatever. Just...
I'm literally 3 feet tall.
You have a sword. Whatever. It's fine.
Okay.
It's fine.
So you're going to try to break out the window?
Yeah.
It's a strength check
I'll use my tail.
Okay, strength check with disadvantage.
Okay.
Can I, when he's doing this, be like, That one, the one with the emergency exit peel around it. That just
well, it's a good thing it was disadvantaged because now it's a 5.
I think we're thinking about this train in way
4.
too modern of a way. There's no like
a 4.
emergency exit with a gasket. It's just sealed windows.
yeah, but that if it's that old a train, like the windows are gonna pop out pretty easy.
Or they're magic.
Okay.
I mean, either way, I just rolled a 4 if we're doing
Yeah,
disadvantage.
you
so.
definitely did not break through the window.
All right, give me a second. Why do I have to do everything? Clarice is going to go investigate the seals on the windows. And if this is a steam locomotive, there's some way to open and close the windows, because that's a standard feature. So she's going to investigate. She rolled a nat 20, and her modifier is +3.
All right, with a nat 20, you can see that every other window is set up to be able to open like half of the window. It doesn't need to be broken. It can slide open. But when they are closed, the windows are magically reinforced.
So Clarice is going to, just like in the most generous spirit, restrain from looking at Cretaceo for the next like full minute. Like she's just gonna go to the window, investigate, slide it open, get out some rope, run it to the other side, and then keep her eyes averted so that Cretaceo doesn't feel judged.
In his defense, you're the one who told him to break the window.
I'm feeling it anyway.
So having Gideon sitting at the ready to get into the portable hole, but not in it yet. Having the window open and the rope ready, I'm going to suggest that we stand. I have to ready the action of folding the portable hole.
Okay.
And then Cretaceo, I don't know what you'd like to do, but maybe ready something.
Yeah. I mean, there's nobody around or
Right.
anything. And have you relayed to me already that there's a mimic fight going on?
Yeah, I
yeah.
noticed that.
Okay. I don't know that I would really, in character, I would do anything because nothing's actually happened yet.
Yeah, no, I'm just thinking like posing with the rope so it looks like you've just helped him out or something might help us.
I'll grasp it in my little tiny rope, my little tiny arms, and see if this actually convinces anybody that I was actually holding the rope with my negligible strength of arm.
Can Cretaceo grab things with his feet?
No, he would not be able to.
He can like kick stuff.
Yeah. Do not have opposable claws on my feet.
Anything else that you two need to do right now?
I'm just gonna communicate to Gideon and to Cretaceo. If I fold this, every single one of us needs to start a 10-minute timer.
Yeah.
Like, mark your clock, whatever you gotta do.
Okay, anything else that you need to do?
No, I'm just ready the
Yeah,
folding
no,
action.
So from within the hole, you heard Gideon going like, I mean, I'll keep an eye on the clock and everything, but I won't exactly be able to get out of this if you don't open it for me first, right?
Right. But what I'm saying is, like, for you to manage the stress of being in there, you'll need to know how long is an acceptable amount of time before you should even worry.
Okay, cool. So I'll have like 10 minutes before I have to worry about dying.
It's slow suffocation. You would fall
that's so much
asleep.
better.
Like, you would be unconscious before anything went really bad. And, like, we could still probably get you out. So, like, no, we're not going to leave you in there for 10 minutes. Uncle Gideon, it's us.
Your father is not going to be happy with you if you kill me.
I wouldn't be happy with me if I killed you.
No one's gonna be happy with us if you get caught.
Fine. And he like gets down a little bit deeper into the hole.
Just sinks in a little bit.
All right. We're going to go back to Andric and the porter. who are walking into the engine car.
Yep.
So basically, you have like a small cabin where the engineer and assistant engineer, like your co-pilot basically, are sitting. It's elevated so that they can see over the rest of the train car. But know that there is 35 feet of train still ahead of them that they are looking over.
Right, the engine itself.
The engine itself. So anything that they think they see in front of them in the dark, they're seeing at a major disadvantage. So they're there, checking their controls, having a very quiet conversation when you walk in with the porter.
So sorry to disturb you. Why have we stopped?
Who are you asking, the engineer or the assistant engineer?
The engineer.
Okay, so the engineer is a small goblin who is sitting, where they are seated is elevated already, and then he is on something that is even more elevated than that, so that he can see over the top even of his control panel. And he's going to look... who are you?
Oh, very sorry. I'm part of the Secretary's security detail.
Okay, we thought we saw something on the tracks. We're looking into it.
Can I see over the engine?
And you've got 60 feet of dark vision?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The goblin should too.
Right, but I mean, it's still like you're looking over the top of this train, so he's got the dark vision, but...
It's an 18 perception.
There is some sort of amorphous shape out there. Whether it is just some fog in the distance or whether it's something more solid, it's very hard to make out. There's definitely something there. You just can't necessarily tell what.
Well, how long do you think before we get moving again?
I don't know. We have to... I mean, I can send one of the porters out to go check on it, or we can just wait for a little bit longer to see if it moves.
Higgins, would you like to go take a look?
No, I would not.
But it does sound like this is part of your job, isn't it?
Nope. Like I said before, we deal with passengers.
But the engineer just said one of the porters should go look.
Next to the engineer is the assistant engineer, who is a Goliath, who's actually had to drop his seat to avoid hitting his head on the ceiling of the train. And he's just going to grunt, step down from the platform, walk out behind the engine car, and you see him walking around the front of the train.
Towards the amorphous...
Toward the amorphous...
shape.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, he's gonna die.
Yeah, so what do we see as what do I see as he walks out there?
Nothing. He walks out there. He looks around. He doesn't see anything. He shrugs. He comes back.
Well, then it sounds like we can get moving again.
Yeah, that'd be really great. As soon as he gets back on the train, we're gonna keep moving. So the assistant engineer is going to walk back, climb up, readjust his seat, duck to get into the seat. They're going to look at each other, move a lever, turn some dials. The train is moving again. I will remind you all that now that means that as you move between train cars, you have to roll an acrobatics check.
See, Higgins, that wasn't so bad. Why don't we go back and you can attend to your passengers?
Yeah, okay, we can do that. So he'll just walk out, lead you back through the coal car, through the porter's car, back into the first class car.
Okay.
Don't think I didn't notice that you said we were part of the entourage, and you didn't say bodyguards.
From 5 cars away, you just get this sense that he has disrespected your group.
Right. Kilonian's like, somewhere somebody's not saying bodyguards.
All right, so now you are in the train car with Clarice and Crutaceo. Really too many C names. So you're now in the train.
Do I have to make those checks to get from car to car?
Yes, you do. Yeah, so acrobatics check. Would you move from the engine to the coal car?
Coal car. That's a 22.
That passes.
And then the second one to get from the coal car back into the first. Is that the
into the porter car?
The porter car. That's a 9.
I believe that doesn't pass. Let me just double check. No, it's a DC 10.
Okay.
So you need to take 1d4 plus 2 thunder damage.
Thunder damage?
Thunder damage. The train is moving.
Wow. So that's going to be 4 total.
Okay.
Man, this is a dangerous. It's like the average person has a 50-50 chance of dying when they walk through.
All right.
Not dying. For 1d4 plus 2, not dying.
Not to mention, like, apparently they make a habit of just stopping the train when they maybe see something in the distance.
I mean, you know, when a train breaks fast, bad things can happen. So that was the damage that you took moving between the porter car and the first class.
Yes.
Car. So one more roll to get into first class.
And that last roll was a natural 1.
That's going to be double damage for you. So 2d4 plus 2.
So Andric is dead. He smacked his face on the train too many times.
Andric's pretty strong.
I know, it's just funnier that way.
5. All right. 5 more points of damage.
Okay.
I stand by my statement. An average commoner has 4 hit points. They could easily die walking between. I mean, people can die going between train cars, but yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna.
So to all our listeners, let that be a lesson to you.
That's right. That's right. Don't go between the train
We'll
cars.
just say that everybody in Urvara is uncommon in some way. All right, so now you're back in the car with Clarice and Crotaceo.
Where's the secretary?
In a hole?
He's in a hole. Let's.
Don't you worry about it, Higgins.
You haven't folded the hole up yet, right?
Correct.
Higgins is going to notice this big hole on the ground and walk over and peer in and see Gideon.
And Gideon's gonna wave, I guess. I don't know.
Sir, please exit the hole.
Higgins, perhaps go look for the head porter, and we can, get the passenger service back on track.
Go ahead and walk through that next car over there.
Roll for initiative.
Oh boy. Why are we rolling for initiative? Nothing happened.
Oh, something's about to happen.
I don't trust this porter.
Above table. We never did.
Yeah.
6. Total of 9.
Okay.
Nice.
What's your?
5.
I rolled a 15.
Okay, so Clarice is 15. You were 9.
9.
And Eric, you were
5.
All right. I will tell you where Gideon is falling in initiative, but I'm not going to tell you where the porter is yet. Well, it turns out I can tell you where the porter is because Porter's going first.
Porter. Higgins.
Higgins.
Poor Porter Higgins. Do.
Higgins looks at the 3 of you, and he looks at Stormcaller in this hole.
Which, to be clear, is a really rare magical object, so he, in theory, is just seeing a massive hole in the middle of the train.
Right. With Stormcaller just, crouched into it.
Yeah.
He's going to jump into the hole. He's going to jump in the hole and try to stab Gideon.
So Gideon just needs to jump out, and then we just close the hole and let him suffocate to death, right?
Yeah, I mean, the hole works that way.
Yeah.
He can get out easily.
Can 2 people be in the hole at the same time?
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
It's a 10-foot space, I think.
It's quite large.
Okay. So now I get to bounce between 2 character sheets. I can tell that he's not going to hit Gideon, though. Clarice, it's your turn.
So Gideon is still in
Is
the
still
hole?
in the hole.
I'm going to use my free action of talking and say, Get out! And assuming that I have at least made eye contact with Gideon so he understands that I mean him, I will remain ready to fold my hole.
Okay. I feel like Fold My Hole is going to be a song at the Jubilation Festival when that finally happens. Okay. Cretaceous, it's your turn.
All right. I'm gonna try to lean into the hole, and oh wait, did Gideon come out?
No, he's still in there.
He's still in there. All right. I'm gonna try to lean my head into the hole and bite Higgins.
Yeah.
Okay, biting attack.
All right. 14 to hit.
It hits.
All right. 3 damage.
Can I just ask, when you bite, do you lock your jaw? Are you bite and release, or are you like digging in
I'm
such
going
that you
with
could?
the intent of grabbing.
So you could
Yes.
be pulling
Yes.
him out,
Okay. But that would have to be your next turn.
Yeah.
right? But he's grappled
Yeah.
essentially.
So I'm like locking my jaw on whatever part of
Okay.
Higgins I can
And
get.
but you said
Nom,
it's 3 points of damage.
Yes.
Okay, so you've basically got his scruff, like you've got his collar really, and you
Okay.
like scraped him with your teeth. So you didn't
Okay.
do a whole lot of damage, but you made contact,
Okay. Cool.
and you're holding on.
All right. So my head is in the hole.
Okay. Does your bite attack come with does it also count as a grapple like after you bite? Because if not, then it probably is like you snapped at him and like just barely got him and had to release.
It does not. It's not saying here that it does have
Okay.
a default grapple.
Okay. So then you snapped at him, you scraped the back of his neck, but you missed.
Okay.
Do you have a bonus action?
No.
Okay. Then we're going to go on to Gideon's turn. Gideon heard Clarice say that he should get out. Gideon likes a fight. Gideon is going to... So Gideon rolled an unarmed strike, and that is a non-natural 20 to hit, which is definitely going to hit. And that is going to be 4 damage. Gideon is not going to immediately jump out of the hole. Andric, your turn.
I'm going to go over to the edge of the hole, look down at Higgins, quote unquote, and say, "Oh, Higgins, this is not going to end well for you. I really would encourage you to rethink your course of action." And I'm going to cast Indecision on Higgins. Charisma saving throw, please.
Okay.
DC is 14.
It's a 10.
Okay. It has failed its save. So on his next turn, Higgins has to take his entire turn to do whatever action he's going to do. So, movement action, bonus action. He can do one of the 3.
Okay. Got it.
And then he can repeat the saving throw each time.
Well, it's his turn. And he's going to go back with his dagger for Gideon. And that is a 14, which I think it's Gideon. It does not.
I have to ask, what does his indecision look like? How does this indecision play out?
He's trying to figure out whether to stab with his right or stab with his left. And he eventually tosses the dagger into his left hand, which is his weaker hand, and that's why he's not successful at hitting Gideon. Clarice
is very displeased that Uncle Gideon won't just get out of the hole, and feels like Cretaceous biting at Higgins would be delightful for us to all watch if we could be on the same level. So she is going to grab the rope that was dangling out the window.
Okay.
And start thwacking Higgins with it just to distract him while she talks to Gideon. And so it's like, Uncle Gideon, like literally just get out of the hole for a second and then Cretaceo and I can wreck this guy. Like, it's just like for 1 second, let us show you what you can do.
Roll a stealth check to see if you were able to get away with that without Higgins noticing. Or with Higgins just being so distracted by...
That's a 16 plus 8 for my
Yeah,
stealth
Higgins is just there going, ow, 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 and totally focused on you flogging him and does not notice what you are telling Gideon. Cretaceo.
All right. So I'm gonna try to make another bite, but this time as an attempt to grab, as a grab.
Okay. So what are you rolling and what am I rolling?
We are both rolling athletics. Or
The grappler is rolling athletics.
And I roll
The person
athletics
is
or
doing
acrobatics.
Athletics or
Yeah.
acrobatics, whichever.
I'm gonna roll athletics. 14.
Higgins rolled a 9, so he is grappled.
Okay.
How are you, like, where are you biting him to have him grappled?
I'm just gonna try to go for like his arm.
Okay.
All right, and then
So but your head is in the hole,
Yes.
holding onto his arm.
But
okay.
I'm more or less like leaned in there because my head is so large, and I would also probably have some difficulty getting into this six foot diameter hole, seeing as I am 7 feet tall.
But you do have movement left.
Yes.
Yes.
So I was gonna say, I have a half speed movement. I'm not trying to move him too far. I'm just trying to get him out.
Out of
so
the
just
hole.
grab him and pull him.
Okay. That's going to be an unopposed strength check to see if you can pull him. And we're going to call the DC there 14.
Oh no. Total of 7.
So you're still grappling him, but you didn't manage to pull him out of the hole.
Okay.
And it's Gideon's turn. Gideon is going to look up from the hole at Clarice and be like, is it better for me to hang out in the hole and you guys get him out? Or should I jump out and you guys keep him in?
You're out of the hole.
No, he's totes right. At this point, like, Uncle, like, he's grappled. We can, you're fine. You want to stab him a little? Like, you do you.
How deep is this hole?
10 foot.
It's 10 feet deep?
Right.
Okay, so to get out of it, he is going to need to, it's going to be an athletics, or an acrobatics check, we'll say, because he's a monk. So to get out of the hole, Gideon is going to need to do an acrobatics check as part of his movement. But he's still going to try to punch Higgins one more time.
And just remember, I do have a rope dangling in there that I'm holding right now.
Okay. I mean,
it's not...
You're not really strong enough to...
No.
All right. He's going to try to punch Higgins again. Oh, that's going to hit. And Higgins is then going to take 7 damage. So after he does that, Gideon is going to ignore the rope completely. Kind of do that thing, like in swing dance where you could like bounce off, like stand on somebody's thigh. So he's going to like actually kind of try to... Yeah, Ashley does. So Gideon is going to try to like use Higgins' thigh as a way of launching himself out of the hole. And he does not succeed at doing that.
Did he at least knock Higgins over a little or something?
Yeah, I think let me roll for Higgins. We'll just see. We're breaking some rules here. That's fine. No, Higgins is still standing. I think because of the way that Cretaceo is holding him, he's not going to move a whole lot. So Gideon is now still in the hole. Higgins is still grappled by Cretaceous. And it is now Andric's turn.
So, Stormcaller's still refusing to come out of the hole?
Well, he tried to come out of the hole. He just didn't do a good job of jumping
He
out.
needs to
The
take
hole is 10
dance
feet
classes
deep.
with Belle.
Yes.
And to be clear, in the portable hole, it says any creature inside an open portable hole can exit the hole by climbing out of it. So he was just showing off. Like, he could have just climbed.
Yeah.
I guess he was trying to get out quickly, like with a big jump as opposed to.
Well, what it was, climbing is an action. He was just basically trying to make fancy movement.
Okay.
Since this situation seems to be, at least I don't know that I can contribute any more to the current scenario. So actually, let me go back to the Porter brake car and see if I can get into any of those lockers.
Okay. So we're going to pause on that, take you out of initiative. All right. It is Higgins' turn again.
He has to repeat that charisma saving throw.
And what's the DC?
It's a DC 14 charisma.
Yeah, he definitely does not get
How
it.
much did he fail by?
He rolled a 5.
Then he takes no action this turn.
Okay.
This is another lock them down type of.
I love it.
Nice.
Clarice.
Clarice is gonna just be completely over this because the hole was like her one idea and it has not gone according to plan. So she's going to try to like find a appropriate spot on Cretaceous' tail where she can provide leverage with her small amount of weight. And she's just gonna be like, I think it's time to pull your little guy out. Okay, if I, touch you.
Hell, get this guy out.
All right, so I'm helping.
Okay, so you're taking the help action.
Yes.
Nice.
Okay, Cretaceous.
All right.
That means you roll with advantage.
Okay. So I've got him grappled. I think at this point, the novelty of the hole has now passed, and we really are just dealing with one guy. So I think it'll be fine to just pull him out now and just do battle with him just on the normal.
We're gonna do an unopposed strength check because you've already got him grappled.
Yeah. That'd be a 13.
But you get to reroll
Yeah, you get
because I gave you advantage.
That would again be a 13.
And we said it was a 14 DC before, right?
Yeah.
Clarice didn't add a lot to the strength.
I'm just kind of jerking him around inside the hole.
You're at a very, to be fair, you are at a very strange angle.
I am at a very
You're
strange angle.
you know how the ceiling
Like,
is lower
desperately
where the
trying to-
seats are versus in the
Yeah.
aisle, so you like couldn't really stand up fully to get into the hole in the first place, and you've got
Yeah.
the seat.
I guess I'll just remain holding him then.
Okay.
Just does this provide any help? Not help, but like, does this give anything to Gideon in like preventing Higgins from attacking him? if he's
Higgins
got
will be
one
at
arm
a
in the
disadvantage
mouth
for
of
any
the thing.
saving throws.
Okay,
but
that's fine.
And his left arm is what's grappled
Right.
and was holding his weapon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, it was his left arm that was holding the weapon, but it was his non-dominant hand.
Well, he was debating.
But yeah. Okay. I'm just gonna stay holding on to him.
Okay. All right, it's Gideon's turn again. Gideon's going to look at Clarice, who's standing there, like, shaking her head. She's like, fine.
Frantically holding on to this giant tail.
So this time Gideon is just going to, like, jump up and climb out of the hole. There's no check needed there. That's just his movement. The hole, I guess, has, like, naturally craggy surface that can be bouldered up. And Gideon comes out of the hole.
Thank you.
So, we're gonna trap this guy in the hole, right?
I mean, we can. I was thinking we would just, like, I don't know, cast something on him and so he's, like, passive and then interrogate him.
I mean, I guess we could do that too.
Like, your nephew has him grappled, so...
Okay. We'll do it your way, I guess. But, just remember that kind of spell you have to keep casting, otherwise he can get hostile again.
Yeah. So, that's fine. I just, like... I want to keep the hole out just in case there are others, you know?
Yeah, I know. Maybe we can, I don't know, trip somebody into the hole. That would be kind of fun, right?
Oh, I meant to present you.
Okay. So Gideon is out of the hole. Andric has left the room. And it's Higgins' turn, and Higgins is first going to try to get himself out of the grapple. So,
Well, first he needs to get himself out of indecision.
oh, right.
Charisma saving throw.
Charisma saving throw. It's a 16.
He's broken the indecision.
Okay, he's broken the indecision, and now he's going to try to get out of this grapple. And so that's going to be another strength check from Cretaceous and another athletics check from... Is it? No, it's athletics 2 from Cretaceous. Yes.
Yes.
Athletics from Cretaceous, athletics also from him because he has no acrobatics ability.
That is a 9.
Well, that's fine because he rolled a 5.
Okay.
So he is still grappled. While he is still grappled, though, he's going to reach for the dagger with his right hand and try to swing across to stab your nose.
No.
Where you've got him, because it's a melee weapon, so he doesn't. Yeah, like he can do that when he's grappled. Yeah. It's an 8.
Okay.
Your AC is definitely higher.
My
than
AC is
that.
15.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So he's just still grappled and like flailing around trying to stab you with his dagger.
Okay.
And we're back to Clarice.
Clarice is going to cast Enthrall.
I love it.
Just make sure you don't accidentally hit me.
Begin by throwing a wisdom saving throw of 13 DC.
15.
Okay. So on a failed save, other things would happen. But having succeeded, your Higgins is just gonna hear. So, like, when you are in the dark depths of the hole, do you ever think about, like, time and the sands of time?
Can he I don't remember. Can he tell that this is coming from you, or is this just like a voice that is now in his head?
He can absolutely tell it's coming from me.
What are you talking about?
Well, like, you know, when you're in the dark, you sort of feel like you don't know how time passes, right? And so, like, you slip into nothing.
But he's not actually enthralled, right? He just hears.
Correct. So this is just what he's hearing.
She's like, are you gonna kill me or not?
Clarice, realizing that her enthrall effort has not worked, is gonna shift a little. Do you wanna die?
I mean, not particularly, but I also don't want to hear any more of that.
Okay, well, like, that's offensive. I was trying to help you. So what makes you deserving of my mercy?
Cretaceous, it's your turn.
All right, Gideon is out So I am just gonna disengage and pull my head out of the hole.
Higgins realizes what's going on, and he is going to climb out of the hole.
Okay.
So sorry, that was your movement. Do you take an action?
I was just kind of thinking to just stand in front of the whole entrance and just kind of body block the entrance.
So do you want to prepare an action?
Yeah, I'll prepare an unarmed strike.
Okay.
A kick. Just to, like, shove him back in there if he tries to get out. Right.
You have let go. Gideon has seen that you have let go. Gideon is going to look down in the hole, and he's going to try to kick toward Higgins. I'm going to say that this is with a disadvantage because Higgins is below him, but we're going to see if it works. It does not work.
Okay.
Now it is Higgins' turn, and Higgins is going to use his action to climb out of the hole. He's hurt, but he's still able to take this as his movement because we've established that it's kind of craggy on the inside. He's going to look at the hole in front of him, look at Gideon to his left, look at Clarice to his right, look at Crottatio across the hole from him, and he's going to try to throw a dagger at Gideon. And it's not going to hit. So he throws a dagger, and it is going to go over Gideon's head and into the door to the next car. It's Clarice's turn.
Clarice is gonna unleash some vicious mockery. Are you kidding me? You are literally less than 5 feet away, and you could not hit him? Do you know how big he is? Like, bruh. Ugh. You are the worst assassin I've ever seen. Like, do your friends even know that you're here alone? Would they trust you with this? Did you, like, drug somebody so you could be the one to take on Gideon? 'Cause, like, this is real dumb.
Ooh, vicious.
Ouch.
Is there a saving throw?
13 wisdom.
That's a 4.
All right. He's going to take 2d4 of damage.
All right, are you rolling the d4?
I did.
Okay.
It's just 3.
Okay. He does look wounded by that, though. We are flashing over to the kitchen car. Belle and Kelonian, how did you enter? Obviously through the door, but like, in what style? What manner?
With fabulous style, thank
Yes.
you very much.
I always have good style. I'm kind of like a folksy style.
To actually answer the question, I think probably a little bit more cautiously than before.
Okay, would you say that you were being sneaky, or were you just being quiet?
I think maybe sneaky, like, is there an inverse of sneaky? Like, I feel like sneaky is like, I'm trying to make sure nobody knows I'm here.
Uh-huh.
Whereas what Belle was trying to do was make sure she knew if anybody else was here. Does that make sense?
I think that's still sneaky.
Okay, well then yes, I think she was trying to be sneaky.
Yeah.
Well, Kelonian was sort of running, and I'm going to go ahead and, if it's okay with you, do like an insight check to see if I pick up the fact that Belle's trying to be quiet. And then
Yeah,
also
I think that that's a
quiet.
great idea.
Kelonian is also probably in front of Belle because...
Yes.
Ooh, natural 1.
Yeah,
Even though that's a 10. Insight.
So Kelonian does not notice that Belle is trying to be quiet. I'm guessing Kelonian doesn't have the best, why am I blanking?
Situational awareness?
I was thinking more of peripheral vision, but yes. With the big shell.
Yeah, I mean, Kelonian comes barreling through like the 5'6", 150-pound turtle with a shell on his back that he is.
What's your AC?
17. That shell, baby.
Yeah. You have a dagger in your shoulder now.
Whoa!
Because he rolled a non-natural 20.
Whoa, how'd that get there? I didn't put that there.
Standing at the other side of the kitchen car is somebody else dressed as a porter who is raiding the knife block in the kitchen. So, yes, there is another porter who has just thrown a dagger, or really it's probably a kitchen knife, at you and got you square in the shoulder.
Ouchies.
Now we're going to roll for initiative again.
Fun. $16.
Okay.
4.
So, Belle, you're behind Keylonian?
I am.
I'm going to say that because of Keylonian's shell, the other so-called porter does not see you. So is not going to try anything with you, but is going to throw another knife toward Keylonian.
Do we have damage for that? Knife
Oh,
in the
yeah,
shoulder?
I should roll that.
I assume.
Yes. That's 1d4 plus 3. 5.
Ouchies.
So the porter is going to throw another knife at you. And that is going to be a 23 to hit.
That hits me.
Yes, it sure does. And that's going to be 6 more piercing damage.
You know what they say, if you can't stand the knives, get out of the kitchen. We might have to do that. I think the mimic might be better.
Belle, it's your turn.
Obviously, the porter didn't see me. I probably can't see the porter, but I'm assuming that I picked up on the fact that there's somebody there based on, Keylonian going, ow.
Yeah.
Cool. Just checking. I am going to say to Keylonian, we can do this, and give him bardic inspiration.
Okay.
And then I'm going to say, two can play at this game, and get in front of Keylonian, and then throw one of my chakrams at the guy.
Roll to hit.
16.
That hits.
5 damage.
5 damage.
I'm guessing I used about 5 feet of movement, because what I'd like to do is then, use the rest of my movement to run up directly in front of the porter.
Love it.
I'm going to try and make him go to sleep.
It is Keylonian's turn.
All right. Keylonian stretches out his clawed, turtley hand, pulls the daggers out of his shoulders. I assume he has one in each.
Yeah.
And he says a haiku.
Oh my god.
Fighting's not my way. It is more in my nature to send you to sleep.
Okay. Roll the total number of... It's a total number of hit points that you're rolling.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so this is going to be 39 hit points. Fall asleep.
Belle, how many hit points do you have?
No. It passed Bell, so it doesn't get hurt.
Oh, you
Yeah,
target
yeah.
it behind him? Yeah, he's asleep.
Sleepy times.
Yep. You've put him to sleep. You're out of initiative. What are you going to do?
Bell, gets all up in the guy's face and is, ready, and then he just collapses in front of her, and she's like, oh, okay.
Oof. That was close. Well, listen, it's
Good
only
job.
going to last 1 minute, so we better move on.
All right.
It's just a real quick nap.
Wait. Belle wants to look around the kitchen to see if there's anything that she can use to tie the porter up.
Okay. Tell me what you are investigating, and then roll an investigation check.
I guess I'd probably check maybe the walk-in first, or some of the cabinets, but I'm assuming that it's a kitchen. They probably have string for tying up cuts of meat or things like that. You use twine when you cook.
What's your investigation, Belle?
It's not good. It's -1.
Oh, okay. Mine's +1. So not that.
Yeah, so my investigation is very bad. So I think Belle probably goes to Keelan and she's like, wait. Let's find something, like some string or something and, like, tie him up so that when he wakes up, he doesn't, like, come throw more stuff at us.
You got great ideas. Let's do it.
Thanks!
So Belle is taking a help action while Keelonian is going to search.
Yes.
What does that look like? Are you just, like, pointing at things and telling him to open cabinets?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
I think Belle is also probably, like, describing different things that string could be used for in a kitchen.
Okay. Before you roll your investigation check, Bob, roll me a d6.
Like a D6. 3.
So you and Belle can choose 3 points that you investigate, and you'll investigate all of them with advantage.
What do you think, Belle? Where do we think we're gonna find a sort of a rope-like thing?
I think probably definitely the walk-in.
Yeah, it could be
And
could be some meats wrapped in twine or something.
Yeah, and I think Belle's gonna look at Keelonian and be like, you know how most kitchens have, like, the drawer with all the stuff? Where's yours? Because I think ours is by our sink.
Oh, I have a little box I keep in a shelf in the closet.
Yeah, so with that information, I guess Belle's gonna want to check near one of the sinks.
Okay. So you've got the main sink's kind of in the upper left. That's where you've got, like, your... It's more of a prep sink. So it's where you're washing vegetables, draining fluids off of things. Then the dishwashing station is also a sink that's going to be full of, like, hot, sudsy water that you can't necessarily see. And then the other sink on the opposite side is more of like a first aid station because it's next to all of the hot stations. So if anybody burns themselves, there's the sink there to wash it. And then there's, like, ointments and bandages and stuff on a shelf up above.
Oh.
Definitely want to check that one.
Good safety protocols here.
Yeah.
Gotta be cautious.
So walk in, first aid sink, and then what do you think, Bob?
Oh, maybe I'm thinking the dishwashing area. Maybe there's some sort of hose.
Yeah! You can tie people up with a hose. I dig it.
Right.
Where are you checking first?
The walk-in.
Investigation with advantage.
16.
Inside the walk-in, you see a couple of large turkeys that have been trussed. So they have the legs that are tied together and, like, the cavity is stitched shut. Next to those, you also see a roll of twine. It's not very thick, but it's there.
What do you think, Belle?
Do you want to hand that to me and I can start tying it up with this while you look and see if there's anything better?
You got it.
So Belle is going to try to tie the porter up with this kitchen twine.
Yes.
Keelonian, where are you investigating next?
Next, I'm going to go to the first aid sink.
Okay.
9. I assume
you
I
get-
don't
you
get
get-
the help action this time.
You get the help for the whole thing because Belle directed you toward your search.
Excellent. 18.
Yeah, so you're going to see there's nothing really in the cabinet under the sink. It's like plumbing and maybe some cleaning supplies. Up above, you'll see a first aid kit. There are bandages, antiseptics, that sort of thing. Nothing that seems like you can tie somebody up, but potentially things that are helpful for you, especially as a cleric.
Next, dishwashers. 13 for the dishwashers area.
Under the cabinet, or under the sink in the cabinet, you see soaps, dishwashing detergents, and sponges, that sort of thing. Nothing in the sink looks out of the ordinary. Like, the water's a little bit obscured, but it's not like there's nothing that seems like blood or something is being hidden in there, and there are no shelves above.
Did they see any rubber gloves, like dishwashing gloves?
You rolled a 13? Yeah, I think you find one set of, like, cheap dishwashing gloves.
Curious, I'm not in the train car. But I could imagine Belle, being a creative thinker, would understand that putting those gloves on somebody who is tied up would slow them down with the untying.
Belle, roll an intelligence check.
Flat intelligence check?
Yes.
A flat intelligence check to which I have -2.
Uh-huh.
Cool. That's a 7.
You definitely do not think about using the gloves to slow this guy
I didn't
down.
think she would.
Does she make an inflated hand turkey instead?
Yeah, I think Kelonian tosses the gloves to her, and she makes a little hand turkey. It could be a toy for Angel later.
That would be very dangerous for Angel. But I think what Belle does have the insight to do is check to see if the porter is wearing a belt.
That's very smart. I'm not even going to make you roll for that because it's pretty clear that he is.
All right. Belle is going to say to the unconscious porter, I'm very sorry to do this without your permission, but also you tried to kill us, so... and she's going to take off his belt and then use that.
I feel like this is the second time we've bound somebody with a belt, right? Like, didn't Andric... Yes, Andric bound Goff Dromior with it.
You just got belled.
Wow.
Belle's gonna, like, do finger guns at Keelan and be like, hey!
All right, we're going to leave the two of you there. We're going to go back to Andric, who had gone back into the porter break room.
Yeah. Specifically to check the lockers.
There are 30 lockers here, which is a lot of lockers given what you know about how many people are actually staffing the train. What lockers do you want to look at?
I mean, I don't know if these things are locked, so I'm really just at the first part, like, just checking handles to see, and I would just work down in order from 30 on down.
Investigation check.
19.
So as you walk, you're just going to, like, pull up the tab on each one of them. The only lockers that are unlocked are 1 through 3.
Okay. So I'm gonna look in those and see what the contents are.
Each of those 3 lockers has street clothes that seem pretty hastily stashed. In those 3 lockers amongst the street clothes, you also notice a couple of pairs of boots that have a lot of mud on them.
Oh, the real porters are dead, aren't they?
I don't know.
Can I discern how many sets of clothes there are? Is it just like one set of clothes in each locker for 3 total, or like...
It's hard to tell exactly how many sets there are unless you want to pull things out and try to match like shirts and pants. But it's definitely more than 3 people's worth of clothes.
Okay, and then the last thing I would definitely take note of is, I'll say, roughly what size are these? Are we talking like, are they all average human size? Okay.
Yeah, they're all average human size. Some seem more male coded, some seem more female coded, but it's like dungarees and flannel shirt sort of thing.
Above table, the reason I'm asking is, doesn't seem like it's likely that either the engineer or the assistant engineer is in on whatever's happening here. That's why I was... Because a goblin and a Goliath would look very... Like, those clothes would look very different.
No, it was a good question.
Okay. Having established that and having pulled out the piece of cloth, I'm going to hop up to the coal car again now. Because I assume that no one's, like, barging in on me or anything, so I've got time here. So I'm going to make that check to go up to the coal car. Mm-hmm. That's an 11. I think you said the DC was 10?
Yes.
Okay, so I am able to make it into the coal car.
Yes. So now you're back in the coal car. We'll say that the trunk that you'd opened earlier, you were the one who opened it earlier, right? Yep. So the trunk that you opened earlier is toward the front of that car. There are still 9 other trunks with coal, and then there are also the barrels that presumably have water. What are you doing?
I'm going to start with the trunks.
Okay. Are you just moving one at a time?
Yes, kind of like I did with the lockers. I'm just going to see how many of them I can shove open and what I find.
The lids are very heavy. The hinges are really tight. So it's a strength check DC 8 for each one you want to open.
Okay. How many are there total?
You've already opened 1, so there are 9 left.
Okay. And again, I'm just working from the back to front. First one's a 16.
Okay. Are you moving and opening all of them, or are you looking in them as you...
I'm going to look in as I open, yeah.
There's coal.
All right. For expediency's sake, should I just, like...
You know, we'll apply that 16 to all of them. Yeah. You're not going to suddenly get 10 points weaker opening one. So you've opened all of these.
Yeah, it probably takes me a few minutes to do it.
Yeah. Roll me an investigation check with disadvantage.
Disadvantage on the investigation.
It's a ton of coal. It's like not well lit in there.
That's a 7.
As far as you can see, it's just coal.
Okay, so no more cloth.
No.
All right, I'm going to pop over to the barrels. Let me just see if I have anything. Do the barrels, do they seem to like have twist top? Like, how are they sealed?
It's not a twist top. Think of like a whiskey barrel. The top is like hammered in and kind of sealed, and there's a spigot on each of them.
I don't know how heavy these are, but can I like just kind of rock it to see if I can sense anything like sloshing about in there?
Strength check.
19.
It's definitely heavy the way the barrel full of water should be, but it doesn't feel like sloshing. You feel or hear a thudding.
Uh-huh. I don't think I have anything that I can pry this open with. So at this point, I'm going to make my way back to the first class car.
Okay. You're going to need to roll your acrobatics checks.
That's a 12 and a non-natural 20. So
You're fine. There's chaos in the first class car. There was the hole that was open. You are aware of what had happened. You had left. What are you doing?
We have more company than just Higgins here. He's not working alone.
Any idea how many?
5 or 6, probably.
The one time I get to ride in first class.
We're still in initiative in this car too, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess we are.
So it's fine. Talking is a free action, but like we're back to the top of the order. Higgins has now seen Andric come in, heard what Andric is trying to say, and is going to throw another dagger toward Andric. That's a 21 to hit.
Yeah.
Yeah. 7 piercing damage. I will also note, Higgins happens to be on the chair next to Angel right now. I'm not going to have him attack Angel, but I'm going to put Angel in initiative.
I got stats for Angel.
Does she have an initiative bonus?
No.
Okay. Clarice, you have heard Andric come in and tell you this. Higgins is throwing knives or daggers. What are you doing?
Higgins. Why you gotta be like that?
Is Clarice high all of a sudden?
No, she's just tired. Okay. Dude with the daggers, look over here. What do you want?
He's just gonna point at Gideon.
I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want.
Yes, he's gonna stop and there's a little dance number. No, he's just gonna point at Gideon.
But like, what? You just want him dead? Like, do you need information? Like, what?
We have to stop him from raising the army.
Who is we? What are you even talking about?
Are you even a porter? I'm starting to think that
He looks at you like you are an absolute idiot.
Back here. Look here. Ignore that one.
Yeah,
Why are you, like you personally, on this train?
To help restore glorious leader Malvo to power.
Oh, you're one of those.
Dude, how old are you? Do you even know it?
My parents have told me glorious stories of Malvo's reign.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I mean, I don't listen to anything my parents tell me, because I'm a normal person, but whatever.
So, you've been to the Alcazar, you're tight with Lucinda, all that, right?
Yes, that's where I came from. Why am I telling you all of this?
Well, it just was dude, we're in a tiny train car. It's a natural thing to talk, so you do you. But, okay, so, you want to stop my Uncle Gideon, but, he's literally just, riding a train. Like, what did you think this was going to accomplish?
I know where this train is going.
Right. But, like, all of us can easily destroy you. So, like...
You think I'm alone?
No, but, like, right now,
I think
you're alone.
right now.
Right now, you're totes alone. And, like, we're all ready to kill you. So, like, you've got a choice here, babes.
Do you want to take an action, or are we just having a conversation?
I mean, if you're going to be unreasonable, then I will absolutely take some actions. But I'm just saying, like, you're not going to win. So, like, maybe you should make some better life choices.
I would rather die than work with you.
Oh, I was not offering to work with you. That is presumptuous. Yeah, Clarice is just gonna whip out her rapier directly into Higgins, center.
Roll to hit.
That's a 17 to hit.
That hits.
And it's 4.
He's looking pretty rough.
Okay. I have 2-weapon fighting, and I was already holding my dagger.
Sure.
So I'm gonna just stab.
Okay.
That's a nat 20 plus 5.
Double damage.
And that's 4. Plus, so it's 4 doubled, 8.
He's barely standing.
I told you, like, we literally can stop all of you. Is there anything you want us to know, like, about your friends? Is there anybody we should watch out for? Like, maybe not kill?
He raises a shaky hand to his mouth and, like, draws his fingers across his lips and turns them like he's zipping his lips.
Aw, it's cute that you think you have a choice.
Cretaceous, it's your turn.
All right. We're still in combat, right?
Yeah. Well, you're in initiative, so
Okay. Is the hole still open?
hole's still open.
All right. Okay. I would probably have a hard time getting around it.
I don't take up that much space. Just for, like,
Yeah,
movement.
you can move.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna walk around right to Higgins.
Okay.
I'm gonna kick him.
Okay. Roll
Kick
for
him in the
roll hit.
face. That is a 20.
Okay.
Non-nat.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Roll to hit or roll your damage.
Yeah. 3.
That is exactly the number of points to make him collapse dead into the hole.
Okay.
He just tumbles forward, dead into the hole.
Well, he said he wasn't alone, so.
Yeah,
Yes.
could you maybe get the body out of the hole so I can pack it up and
Yeah.
like, use it?
All right. Yeah. I
You're
guess
out of
this is my
initiative.
fault. All right. I'm gonna climb into the hole and just grab him in my jaws and then just bring him out.
Okay. You just like put him on the floor. You put him in a seat.
I'm just gonna drop him on the floor.
Okay. Are you folding up the hole? Or are you leaving it there?
I'm gonna fold it up.
Okay.
I think having everybody know the mechanic of it means that I can use it.
Yeah.
But no, I am gonna fold up the hole, and then I am gonna say, "Yo, Cretaceous, you good to keep an eye on Unks if I go check things out?"
Yeah, all right. It's Cretaceous, by the way.
Yeah, no, but I thought it was like charming.
Yeah, we're
to
not
be
there
like,
yet. Yeah, you go. I'll stay with Uncle Gideon.
Okay.
So we've folded up the hole. Where are we going?
Clarice is going towards the first class dining car.
Even knowing that there is a mimic in there.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Is anybody going with Clarice?
Yep.
Okay.
We've got other quote-unquote porters to find.
All right, so you can move yourselves on over into the dining car. When you get into the dining car, you see the same things that Belle and Kilonian had seen: broken china, broken crystal, silverware askew, table cards askew, and the one table that's turned on its end with teeth.
Oh, I thought maybe it was going to be hiding again. You wouldn't know which table.
This has all been happening very fast.
Clarice is gonna just like try to walk across the rubble on the other side of the train.
Okay.
She's small, she's light. She's gonna see.
Yeah,
if
I'm
she
not going
can
to make it difficult terrain for you.
Yeah. So she's gonna just try to walk in front of the mimic and see if it notices.
Yeah, you're provoking an opportunity attack.
Yep. That's okay.
So it's going to try to bite you. 18.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And that is going to be 10 piercing damage plus 7 acid damage.
Clarice is really suffering, but at DM's discretion, would like to continue to drag herself past it to a place where she can drink the healing potion she has with her.
I think we're not really an initiative. You just happened upon this, so I'll allow you to.
Okay, great. The first two rolls were 3 and 4.
So 7.
Plus 2.
So
9.
9.
Okay. I am now going to make the 3 of you roll initiative. Like, I let you have that movement for free, but you're in initiative now. Clarice.
That's a 27.
Okay. Andric?
7.
All right, well, Clarice, you get an action now.
I'm going to cast True Strike.
Okay.
Just pointing a finger at it. I want to understand its defenses, and on my next turn, I'll have advantage on my first attack roll.
Okay. It's a mimic. It is immune to acid damage, and it can't be knocked prone.
Okay. I'm gonna mention all that to Andric, and then my next turn I'll have advantage.
It is the mimic's turn. The mimic is going to try to use its pseudopod action at Clarice. It's a 23 to hit.
That's gonna hit.
Yeah. So it's gonna hit for 9.
What is the nature of this?
So it's 9 bludgeoning damage, but then it's also going to subject you to its adhesive trait. What that means is it is now adhered to you, and you're grappled. So ability checks to escape this grapple are going to have disadvantage.
Okay. Was that a sneak attack or a weapon? Like, how does it?
It's listed as a melee weapon attack.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Basically, it's tongue, right?
Yeah.
you said 9 damage.
Yes. And you're grappled. Andric?
Okay, I'm going to use my movement to get up to it. Is it considered engaged with Clarice?
It's grappling her, yeah.
So I draw my long sword. So I assume this attack has advantage?
Yeah.
Alright. So the higher one is 22 to hit.
That definitely hits.
So it takes 5 points of slashing damage, and it
Okay.
needs to make a charisma saving throw.
Oh boy, as we know, mimics are very charismatic. 12.
That is a failure. It's a DC 13. So
And
until
actually, it was 11 because it was -1. So
Until the end of my next turn, whenever it makes an attack or a saving throw, it has to roll a d4 and subtract that.
For the attack. Okay, got it.
Attack or saving throw.
Okay.
And I'm going to then do my offhand attack with... Draw my dagger and do an offhand attack. Is this also with advantage, or do you only get advantage on one per turn?
It knows you're there now.
Okay. That's a 12 to hit.
12 just hits.
12 just hits, all right. And it takes an additional 1 point of piercing damage.
Oh boy. It's not hurt enough to disengage with Clarice.
Sure.
It's Clarice's turn. And you are grappled, and you have disadvantage to get out of the grapple.
Do I have to try to get out of the grapple?
You don't.
Could I just start stabbing
Yeah.
it because it's attached?
Yeah.
Great. I'm going to use my rapier first. That does nothing, but I have 2 weapon fighting.
Yep.
So I use my dagger, and that's a 12.
Just hits.
Great. Oh, I forgot I had advantage on my attack with my rapier, so I could have re-rolled that one.
I think because you're grappled. Oh, do you always?
It was because I did True Strike.
Oh, right. Yes, that's right. So yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna roll my d20 one more time
Okay.
for the rapier, but we know the dagger hits.
Yes.
Okay. That re-roll gave me almost nothing.
Okay. Great. So with the rapier, you still hit.
Yeah. That's gonna do 4 damage, and I'm gonna add my psychic blades. So
Okay.
I'm gonna add 2d6 of psychic damage.
Great.
2 and 4.
And it is the mimic's turn, or as I've written in the notes, mimic semicolon. The mimic is going to try to bite you while it's got you there. That's an 8.
That's not gonna bite me.
No. Andric.
I'm going to continue hacking at this thing. Oh, and it doesn't matter because an 8 wasn't going to do it. It didn't subtract the d4 from that attack roll. That's going to be 15 to hit.
That hits.
So 3 points of slashing damage and another charisma saving throw.
And that was 13.
DC 13.
That's a 3.
Keep subtracting that d4 from its attack rolls and saving throws. Offhand attack with dagger, stabby. 13 to hit.
Hits.
And another 2 points of piercing damage.
The mimic is definitely hurting.
That's my turn.
Clarice, back to you.
I'ma stab it.
Yeah, you are.
That was the first one, and that is not gonna make it.
Okay.
And then the other hand is definitely gonna do it. That's a 24.
That does it.
Okay. And that's 8. That's an 8 plus 2. 10 of... What is that? Piercing.
You feel it starting to release the tongue from you, but you're still grappled.
I am gonna add my psychic blades.
Go for it.
Because I can do that as much as I want. I can add 2d6. 4 more psychic damage.
You slice right through the mimic's tongue. The tongue is still adhered to you, but the mimic is dead.
Ew. Okay, so there's a tongue stuck to me.
There's a tongue stuck to you.
But I'm mostly feeling pretty crappy. So I'm not gonna worry about it.
You're just going to walk out with the tongue attached to you?
Yep.
This is going to get worse before it gets better.
You got any healing you can do?
I'm going to down a healing potion for myself.
All right.
And I'm gonna ask you, any chance you could help me? Like some bandages or something?
How many points did you heal yourself for?
5.
Okay. And then is there anything you can do for Clarice?
Yeah, I can cast Cure Wounds.
Okay.
So take 4 points of healing.
Better than nothing.
Because I rolled a 1 on my 1d8 for that.
Clarice is gonna suggest that she go second into the next car.
Reasonable. So you've healed yourself a little. You've healed Clarice a little. Are you going to go back into the first class car, or are you going to keep moving?
No, because we didn't. I expected to see Colonian and Bell here, and they're not here. So, and we know they're not forward, so we're continuing to the rear.
Okay. Yeah. So you walk into the next train car.
That was a nat 20 on my acrobatics.
Right, yes.
And that was an 18 for me on
so
acrobatics.
you're both fine on your acrobatics check. So then Clarice and Andric walk into the kitchen car. You don't see Belle or Kilonian. You do see a person dressed as a porter, tied up, asleep on the floor, but beginning to stir.
Yeah, it only lasts a minute,
Right.
so.
So we're going to stop there.
And that's it for this episode of Oops All Bards. Join us in 2 weeks for the Barbecue episode, where we'll take a deep dive into this episode, which is episode 7, if you can believe it. And then 2 weeks after that, we'll have episode 8. As always, I've been your host, Jillian Ashley Blair Ivy, and on behalf of everyone here at Oops All Bards, thanks for listening. We'll see you again soon.
Oops All Bards is created, GM'd, and directed by Jillian Ashley Blair Ivy. This episode was produced, edited, and sound designed by Nate Runkle. Oops All Bards stars Ashley Banks as Belle Sternamiel, Ann Coleman as Clarice Sauercloud, Ross Curry as Andric Harrowhold, Tage Sinha Das as Cretaceous Thunderthigh, and Bob Killian as Colonian Stumps. The Oops All Bards theme song is by Bob Killian, with additional lyrics by Jillian Ashley Blair Ivy. Oops All Bards is executive produced by The Porch Room. We are part of the Porch Room Network on Spreaker Prime. For more information, visit oopsallbards.com. Thanks, and be sure to rate, review, and subscribe to Oops All Bards on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your podcatcher of choice. And follow us on Instagram and YouTube at Oops All Bards. We'll see you next time.
Oops, it's all bards. Oh, what a mess. Another quality podcast from the Porch Room.